effect of social media in the promotion of certain activities like promoting tourism, promoting investment. And on this very special issue, we're glad to be joined by Dr. Osama Mahmoud, IT expert. Thank you, sir, for joining us, and good morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Good morning, Dr. Osama. Dr. Osama, to start with, how the social media could play an important role in promoting tourism?
Well, I would like to give a little information about the importance of tourism and investment for Egypt.
Yes, please.
Because as we all know, there has been a big drop on the numbers of tourism coming to Egypt, and this is reflected on the economy for the foreign currency, especially bringing the foreign currency from abroad. So it's very important to bring the tourism back, and very important to bring the investment back to Egypt. And this is why the economic reform happening in Egypt in the past 6 months, so attract the tourism and attract the investors as well. Now, how to attract them? Of course, there's many ways to attract the both categories, but the social media is very, very important because we are talking about 2 billion users around the world that are using social media. So we cannot no longer depends on the inviting the tourism by sending agencies and talking to them face to face. So there has to be a huge campaign happening on the social media, showing Egypt to investors as well as the tourism outside, so we can attract them to book and come to Egypt.
Right. Sir, we have a lot of hot spots here in Egypt and very attractive touristic sites. Of course, Luxor and Aswan with the monuments and the pharaonic monuments. We have the beaches in Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. We have it all, and still we need to work a lot on promoting tourism. So how can we do this through the social media?
Sure. This is a big role, of course, for the government. So they have to start putting all this together in one place, because we cannot scatter the efforts. So we have a small website here and there to show some images. So now we have to bring all of them in one place. And this is, I think we can collect the information, because when we're talking about digital process, the first thing in digital process is the content. Excuse me. So content we have in Egypt, we have lots of content. We have the nature. We don't have to bring in fake images about the country. We have it all here. So all we have to do is to formalize the content and put it in one place. And then start doing a campaign targeting the audience outside Egypt. This is where the cost of money comes from. Because we need to spend lots of money. If you see a post on Facebook, for example, if I want to show this post to an audience in Egypt, it costs me like 2 cents. But if I want to bring the same post to users in America, it could cost me about $2. So here's the expenses comes, and the big budget has to happen. And most of the decision makers are afraid to take this brave decision, because they have to spend money on digital. They cannot see. This is like a billboard on the street. This is all digital. But the report says that most of the users now coming or willing to travel, they use the internet.
Yep. Sir, we have to mention here that Egypt is enjoying different types of tourism. We have the health tourism, we have the cultural tourism, we have the religious tourism, we have the beaches, the cultural. So how can we start to promote for all these kinds of tourism? Because here we are, I believe, targeting also different tourists as well, and different destination, different countries.
Okay, well, this is assure the importance of digital, because digital can give you all these categories, because they know they have like a big filter to filter the interest of people. So for example, if I want to come to travel to a religious place, so when I type religious places, it comes automatically Egypt. This is the importance.
And there are different destinations in Egypt where I can enjoy the religious tourism, not only Cairo, for example,
monasteries in Upper
in
Egypt.
St. Catherine,
There are
St.
monasteries
Catherine, in
and
Minya,
also
some
in Asyut, we have a monastery. And
Well, I'm sure lots of Egyptians themselves, they don't know about it.
indeed.
So what do you think about the foreigners? So this is,
so how can the social media be used to display all these touristic sites and talk more about them? Is there a plan, for example, by the Ministry of Tourism to promote tourism, of course, on the social media, on specific sites?
well, they started already, if you remember, this is Egypt hashtag. This came out a few months back by the ministry. So they started already to market through digital media, but still not enough, of course, because we're talking about 2 billion people we need to target. So it's not enough to have here and there some posts or videos.
There should be a plan for this.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, here comes to the NGOs and private sectors to help on promoting, and also the Egyptian abroad. They have to do a big role because they have friends, they have relatives, they have business workers. So they have to do their roles also promoting.
Even private tourist agencies can help in this.
Of course. I mean, this is for their own business.
Definitely.
So they have to switch from like sending faxes and making phone calls like before. They have to use the social media because here they can reach more people in a short time. So, as I said, the first step is we have to create the content. Content means that we need to have lots of images, lots of information, videos.
Even videos.
Of course, video is very important. Video is number one. People
It shows
watch.
more real thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Osama, how can we create somehow a sort of collaboration between the efforts exerted by the Ministry of Tourism and the private sector and the NGOs in order to create a whole thing in order to promote tourism, to think out of the box, to market out of the box?
Yes, we have to sit together. So an initiative has to be done to bring all the stakeholders on one table so we can have a plan, a clear plan and very strong vision for the next 3 years at least. And they have to work together, all of them, because government by itself cannot do it, private sectors by itself cannot do it, and also NGOs.
We need real collaboration.
Yeah, so initiative we were thinking, or we presented a plan that we can have like a competition through Egypt, the whole Egypt, so people can share images and send videos, and then they get rewards. Like imagine if we launch a competition between all Egyptians, whatever the first, the ranking 10 images or 10 videos, they get rewards. So here you can collect the content from the Egyptians themselves, because this needs lots of efforts.
Right. Sir, if we move on from tourism to investment, did you see any examples of using social media to promote investment in Egypt or worldwide?
Well, so it abroad. I mean, the nearest country to us is UAE, the Emirates. So they promote all the industrial zones through the social media. This is the first step. So people will know about what's happening in the industrial zones, the offers, what the government offered to them. People are coming to an events. So social media is the first step to bring people to an events inside the country. Here in Egypt, from what I know, that they are planning now to do an investment plan. So you can choose the cities or you can choose the categories. They're also doing an industrial plan over the map. Like if you want to go to Upper Egypt, you know where to start your factory. So this is a very strong movement from the government they have done so far now. And now promote this. They are putting this through a website. So an investors overseas can, for example, if I want to invest in iron, so I know where to invest and how much it cost me and how to go to the process. The information is there in the website they're building now, but no one knows about it. So here comes the social media rules to bring people to that website.
Sir, is investment relying to a great extent on the social media? Because unlike tourism, investment is a bigger thing for the country. So to attract investors, I do believe social media is not the thing here.
Of course, of course. Working on the ground first, and then delivering the message to the social media. Why, for example, and the different messages for different countries.
Yes.
For example, investors in America are afraid to come to Egypt because of the unstable situation in Sinai, for example. So we need to deliver a message that we are safe.
How can we do that? Because sometimes the media, and I'm not only talking about the social media, I mean the media in general, are delivering wrong image or reflecting not realistic image to what's going on here in Egypt. So how can we overcome this obstacle here?
Well, if you remember a few days back, Messi has came to Egypt,
Yes.
right? So this is a very strong message that we are safe and famous people are coming to visit us, for example, right? And we have also tourism flights coming back to Egypt, Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. So we need to take the images, the footage, and deliver. So no one knows about Messi came to Egypt and enjoyed his time for a few hours here. So we need to take this and show
So
it.
you think that this event was not promoted enough
Of
worldwide?
Of course.
How should it be
We
promoted?
didn't take the full advantage of it. So it depends on Messi followers. They will share what
How
happened.
can we take the full advantage of such an event when a star or an icon visit Egypt?
Well,
How can we take full advantage of
I'll
this?
tell you the mechanism
Yes.
of how this works on the social media. For example, the videos that he has shown during the pyramids visits.
Right.
This video, it should be on his Facebook page, for example, right? So all his followers, we can say like 20% of his followers will saw the video.
Follow or, yeah.
Now, for order for us to make the 1 billion users to show the videos, to see the videos, we have to pay money for Facebook or YouTube so they can promote the videos for other viewers to see it. This money has
Even
to
if
come.
the video is there and people can share it, or if all the Egyptians using Facebook
Yes.
can share this video, it will be there for millions, I
Yes,
think.
we call this the organic views. Organic views comes from our friends. The organic spread between the friends and users.
But the video is not there, actually.
So this is the first problem. Why we didn't create a video or promote it? No, there is a video actually, but it's talking about virus C. It's talking about the whole trip for Messi.
But not at the
Yeah.
pyramids, not his
No.
visit to the pyramids.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
How can you also start to use the medical tourism in order to attract certain tourists? I do believe that many people used to come here for rehabilitation, for example. We have beautiful places in Siwa, beautiful places in different destinations in Egypt for rehabilitation, for example, or for people who are suffering from muscles problem or bone problems. So how can we promote for that? And of course now the hepatitis C. So how can we start to promote for medical tourism as well, especially for many Africans and people from the Black Country?
Yeah. Well, as you said, the nature we have here is not existed in too many countries. Talking about Europe and Africa, of course we have the advantage and one step ahead of them. And we need still back again to promoting what we have to overseas. What the experience we have seen in the last, I think, 2 months is the virus C treatment, because it was a very smart movement from the company, because the cost of the treatment overseas is like $100,000.
Yes.
And when they invented the medicine, it cost like $1,000. So they said this huge difference can be attracting. Yeah. So they are now like talking to people, come for a tourism and enjoy the weather and the country, and then also get treated. So of course this is a very smart move, and we need to have more things like this. Like why Egypt and why bringing people here?
Right. Dr. Osama, as an IT expert, how do you see the role of the social media and its effect on the different generations in Egypt, from starting the age of 8 years old until the age of 70 or 80 years old. How do you see the expanding role of the social media?
Well, if you enter any cafe, you will see it yourself. Like everyone, the friends are sitting at one table and everyone is playing on his phone. So started now from 4 years old, you know, boys and girls, them holding the tablets and using all the time, monitoring and playing. So the roles now become very, very bigger, and we need to have a control over it. We need to talk about the families, they organize the time, the useful time they spend on the internet or social media has to bring more useful for information for the kids, and then also the youth themselves. They instead of the playing all the day using the social media, we have too many websites and social media pages that bring information to them. So they have to develop their skills using social media, not only spending most of the time playing only.
Are there any statistics done to know the percentage of Egyptians using the social media so far?
Of course, 40 million and increasing.
40 million.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And also we have about 60% of the population using the internet, and 40%, we're talking about 40% using Facebook and social media platforms.
But even these social media tools like Facebook or Twitter or whatsoever could be used in order to promote tourism, for example.
Yeah, imagine the 40 million users. If every one of them share one post for Egypt, the 40 million posts will reach the people outside. Of course, and also Egyptian overseas are very important to help their countries by talking positively about the country. So and sharing the sites of the tourism and sharing the investment opportunities. So this is a big role for Egyptian abroad, of course.
Yes, indeed.
So what are the obstacles that face social media in promoting tourism? What obstacles we need to work on or we need to overcome?
Number one, the content. We need to have a new content with the high technology and advances of the videos and images. So the content very important. Number two is the plan. We need to plan. Experts will tell us where we need to promote for the tourism, where we need to promote for the opportunities for investment. So we need this plan. And number three is the budget, of course. Budget is very big obstacles because when it comes to budget, everyone step back.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Osama Mustafa, information technology expert, thank you very much, sir, for being our guest for today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming. And dear ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of this edition of The Breakfast Show. Many thanks for watching, and don't forget to join us tomorrow with another crew. Many thanks for you, Mahir.
Thank you very much, Naveen, and thank you very much, our dear viewers. Please stay tuned for more of our programs coming up on Nile TV International.